The Lakers recorded a winless preseason before the regular season started, which inevitably set fans and pros alike's tongues a-wagging. It doesn't look good for one of the most famous teams in basketball, but are people right to panic? Today we're looking at the Lakers' winless preseason record and how it's making fans worried. Also, we're going to check out what the pros are saying, so stay right where you are. First up, let's look at their preseason in a little more detail. The LeBron James-inspired Lakers went winless through their preseason with some less than average performances, so what happened? They tipped off their preseason with a game against the Brooklyn Nets, and for want of a better phrase, were absolutely trounced. The Lakers hit only 32 of 88 field goal attempts during the game at a percentage of just 36.4. Next up, they visited the Phoenix Suns 3 days later, and although they narrowed the score of defeat, they were easily beaten. Only 15 of 19 free throws. They'll need to up their game in that area in this season as well. 2 days later, they visited the Golden State Warriors and again narrowed the gap, showing improvement, losing 121 to 114. It was the same story with regards to free throws as they struggled in that department, converting only 71.9% of free throws this time. On October 10th, the Phoenix Suns came to town and put on a dominating performance, outscoring the Lakers by almost 30 points, 123 to 94. Performances like these are almost unacceptable at the Staples Center. Their fifth preseason game again provided a bit of drubbing for Westbrook, Anthony, and company, with the Warriors handing them their latest defeat. They wrapped up their awful preseason with their lightest defeat, with a gap of only 4 points. That's 116 to 112 against the Sacramento Kings. Improvement, at least, we guess. What do you think of the Lakers preseason? Let us know down below. Still more to come, stay tuned. So what are the fans saying after this dismissal preseason? Let's find out. Naturally, when a team overperforms, their fans get wildly excited and start with inevitable illusions of grandeur. Adversely, when a team is at a low ebb, their fans might try to convince themselves it's just a dip in form or that it really doesn't matter. A survey taken between Lakers fans reported that 73% of fans still feel exactly the same as they did during the offseason. So still over a quarter of fans are rightfully worried, especially after defeat in the first game of the regular season. What we must remember, however, is this is only preseason, but still, blowouts are not great for confidence. One fan on Twitter commented, "It's only preseason games, they say, but the Lakers can't win just one? Not only that, but they're also getting beat pretty bad. I think I'm going with the Heat this year." Another commented, "It's only 3 or 4 games into the preseason, and Laker fans are already tired and divided over Westbrook? Happy New Year. We're 10 months into the new year, my friend. I wonder if he knows." Another NBA fan remarked, "Even if it's amazing or a complete storm disaster, the Lakers are going to be the most intriguing team this season." We would tend to agree with that assessment. How about you? Some fans seem to be apathetic towards the current slump, while others are slightly more positive. Give us predictions for the Lakers campaign this season in the comments section. Current radio host and former NFL player Bart Scott chimes in now, so stay with us. The broadcaster has a different take on the philosophy LA is bringing this year. He believes because they have so many older players, there'll be a lot of team rotation. One guy will play one game while taking off the next, and so on. Do you think this approach will work for the Lakers this year? We're unsure, but let us know what you think. Next, we're hearing from a Laker himself, Carmelo Anthony. What did he have to say? So as we know, things have kind of gone bad to worse for the Cali outfit this preseason. The club recorded results of 0-6, losing by an average of 17.2 points per game. Pretty horrible. One of the team's new old-timers, off-season addition Carmelo Anthony, isn't particularly worried and believes the team will click with a bit of time. The Lakers rebuilt their side around megastars LeBron James and Anthony Davis, adding Melo, highly sought-after point guard Russell Brook, and a few other squad players. A good team this good will eventually come together, right? Or is it a case of big personalities and egos not being able to play together? And it wouldn't be the first time we've seen that, right? We can see how we gel together. I thought we had some great moments when all 4 of us were on the court together, Carmelo said, after most of the guys played in the last preseason game. The 111-99 loss to the Golden State Warriors. We had spurts where we were very in tune, we were locked in. We don't expect it to happen overnight, but I thought yesterday was one of those moments where we're like, okay, we see that. Let's check in with another new Lakers. Stay right where you are. Point guard Russell Westbrook was asked recently what his side's winless preseason meant for the season ahead. His response was superb and pretty emphatic. He remarked that he didn't remember any of his other preseason records with any of his preseason teams. Fair enough. He went on to state that the response should answer the question. Nice to see a bit of humor and level-headedness once in a while. However, we must add that preseason underperformance is hardly going to garner a winning mentality and future success. The Lakers kept their stars out for a few contests and also messed around with lineups that were probably unlikely to be seen during the preseason. Maybe there were some problems with the injuries in the team, who knows? So let's get a more neutral view now. Over to you, Skip Bayless. Responding to LeBron's claim that it's going to take some time for them to become the team that they know they can be, American sports reporter Bayless said, although it was nice to see all four of the Lakers superstars on the floor together, in the second game against the Warriors, LeBron came out and looked completely out of rhythm and out of sorts in that everybody was looking at each other wondering who was going to do what. We kind of see his point. They look like headless chickens in parts, not just during that game in preseason. He has also made the point that Westbrook and James are so used to having the ball that one of them is going to have to take a back seat for the good of their team. He went on to point out that he didn't see any evidence of the team working on new plays and that they looked as though they were unoiled. Who do you think should be the main guy on the team? Next up, what did Coach Vogel think about the Lakers' poor preseason? Let's have a look. According to head coach Frank Vogel, there is no reason to panic about the results of preseason games as they're used as practice. Sounds like a bit of an excuse. He went on to claim that the results are not concerning. Are you sure, coach? Because if I were in your position, well, we'd be concerned. He went on to explain that you don't want to go winless, but sometimes that's the nature of the game. He said ultimately, the Lakers are here to win basketball games. Well, you could have showed us that, Frank. We haven't seen one of those in a while. He acknowledged that, of course, it's about practice and that they're working on things in these games. He also made the point that they don't want to go to hell for leather and rack up injuries, which I guess is a fair point. All things considered, it's a new team and panicking right now is going to do nobody good, so remaining calm was probably the best thing he could have done, which we salute. Well done. He finished with the point that in none of the fourth quarters of their preseason games did they have their main team out. We're not sure what point he was making there, as in other three quarters they would have had more than enough quality to put up more of a fight, right? Let's see how they do in the coming weeks and if that team starts to gel or not. What do you think? And finally, news of the NBA 25th anniversary team announced. Stay right there and we'll tell you all about it. Some star names from the past and present were announced this week from the NBA's 25th anniversary team, which included 75 players. Of course, legends of the past like Michael Jordan, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, Larry Bird, Michael Johnson, and Bill Russell all featured, and rightfully so. From today's era, we have the likes of LeBron, Curry, Durant, and Anthony. With Melo, Bron Davis, and Russ all making the NBA 75 team, it begs the question as to why the Lakers have had such a shambolic preseason. Anybody who would have switched off? Let us know in the comments below. As always, thanks for joining us, and remember to tune in next time.